This is Hank 3. Keep an eye on Jimmy Alter. Yesterday was good. It was our first official show in Europe that I consider our first real Hank 3 show with all 4 bands that we deliver throughout the night.
Because it was it a 3-hour show as well?
Yes. When you get to really see what I do, it's always a long show to bring all 4 different sounds across. So that was the first time. And, you know, we're a bar band. We always will be a bar band. And once you take us out of that bar and put us anywhere else, it's not the same. So that's, we got to play our environment yesterday. I don't get out and see much. Yeah. It's always the stage, the audience, and then heading back into the automobile or bus to the next show.
Yeah.
So one day, hopefully, I'll be able to come over and really see some stuff. But this is the very first time I've ever been in Amsterdam. I've always played outside of it, but never have been here.
Yeah, because I saw you.
There's a difference, yes. Yeah. It just depends. A lot of it depends on how much people are drinking. A lot of it depends on how hot the environment is or unhot the environment is. As far as energy goes, crowds over here tend to bounce more. Once in a while you get a mosh pit and stuff like that. And this is, you know, for most bands, but from what I see, in America we have a bit more of a rowdy crowd. And I think just with the history of Hank Williams and my father, always had a really hard drinking crowd, and the mixture of cowboys to punk rockers to metalheads to just all these different people, all the Latino kids coming in there, sometimes just makes it a little more intense. But sometimes they just sit there and stand at us, or stare at us, or sometimes it's a full-on mosh pit and fights and all that. It doesn't seem like there's as many fights over here. I've only noticed one so far at our show.
Is your show?
Yes. So, you know, and usually we deal with 4 to 5 a night in the States. So it's different. You know, a lot of people haven't seen what we do, and they kind of just taking it in, or they have fun. Main thing is just not having so many lawyers to go through. I only have to go through 1 now, and when you start dealing with other labels, you have to go through 2 or 3. And what I want to do isn't that hard. I have a good work ethic. I know my sound, and I just need good distribution.
Yeah.
Really, that's what Henry Rollins told me years ago, and I've always kept that advice very close to me, and it has been working out so far. I'll never sign anyone else on my label because I don't want to do any other artist wrong or make any other musician feel cheated or they didn't get the respect that they deserved, because it's hard enough just doing your own thing. The biggest one right now that we've talked about and just haven't had time is Dave Lombardo from Slayer wants to play some country drums. Last time we did a few shows with Slayer over here, and we got to sit, you know, and he came to the bus. It's just like, hey man, I want to do some country drumming. That would be something different for me. So hopefully one day we can make that happen. And it's really hard to say. Now I've got to work with so many of my heroes already, and it's hard to say who that next person would be. You know, man, on a friend level, me and Wayne the Train Hancock have been talking about trying to do a WH-H3 record where we're both singing and having some fun. I was able to know Dimebag through the years and got to be at the right place at the right time with David Allan Coe and Dimebag, and I only saw Pantera in a 500-seat room 7-8 times, and I never did see them in an amphitheater, so it was a lot more intense. I'm glad I got to see it in a bar, because it's kids crawling off the ceilings. It's like a bomb exploded and there's people the whole room is a mosh pit. So
nice.
It was awesome.
We had a good relationship with him.
Well, yeah, I mean, we always pay respects every way possible. He's definitely very missed. And, it's just one of the, yet again, another big tragedy in music, and all we can do is remember him, and glad that the music is recorded for many, many years later. I'm always pro downloading, pro bootlegging. I mean, my best marketing plan that I've ever done, some people think it's cheesy, some people don't, but after every show, I stick around and shake every hand or do every picture that anyone wants. When I'm in the right kind of bar atmosphere and I have the time to do it. Some bars have curfews, but it never hurt the Grateful Dead, and it never has hurt me. And it depends. If you're going to take $700,000 to make a record, well, then you might have a problem with it. But if you're going to be realistic about it and can make a record for $2,000 or $5,000, it is what it is. It depends on the artist.
Yeah.
So, but for someone like me, who's always been blackballed by the music industry or blackballed by the radio industry, doing that underground circuit has helped me throughout the years get my sound out there when I was held back for 15 years by a label that didn't respect what I do. So there's pluses and minuses.
Yeah.
Just depends what you're wanting out of it. It's hard to say. I play guitar more than anything, but I'm not really that good of a guitar player as far as leads and stuff like that. But that's something I do on a daily basis, even when I'm not on the road. For drums, I have to get myself in a certain mindset and get my body in the right condition to be on it for that. I do like, messing around with the keyboards and stuff like that, but my left hand and my right hand are not on the same page. And I don't understand music theory. I just know how to write songs, make songs, record songs, mix songs, and master songs and put them out.
Thank God.
But I don't know how it all works. It'd be nice to understand that, but I just kind of do what I do. But guitar is in my hand more than any other instrument. If I'm playing live, it all depends on if I have a voice or not, because it's all one performance to me.
Yeah.
It's not just a country show and a rock show and all that. It's one performance. The kind of music I listen to most of the time is classic rock or older music, 60s, 70s rock and roll. If it's Deep Purple or Blue Cheer or Black Sabbath or ZZ Top or Old Ted Nugent or Pagan Altar or Brujeria or Jimmy Martin or Johnny Paycheck, I mean, it's just all over the place. It kind of depends on the mood that I'm in. I like a lot of YouTube videos, watching stuff that people have recorded, of sound checks to live performances and all those things. But I'm very open-minded on my music. So And sometimes I like music that has no lyrics in it at all. It just depends.
Oh, really?
It doesn't matter if it's me or Dweezil Zappa or Jack Osbourne. Anyone that comes from a famous father or a famous grandfather and father, it is what it is. It depends what you make out of it. There's good things about it and there's bad things about it. For me, I've had to fight hard to create my own sound and to do my own thing, and to have people recognize me as Hank 3 instead of Hank Williams.
Yeah.
And I think I've achieved that. Nowadays, it just kind of depends on the person. Some people it would definitely bother, and some people it just, well, it is what it is. So for me, I'm just lucky enough to do what I do and respect the bloodline and just keep on trucking.